stops at the door. Sorry. Excuse me, Mr. Boss. It's all working just fine. Working exactly as we planned, you see. Pulls on his tinfoil hat. The only thing he's got that lets him focus. A pyramid in one hand. He's got his dog-eared copy of the Bermuda Triangle in the other. He's going to rush forward, and he is literally going to hug the tree and try and banish a spirit from a person, object, or place. I could kill you 12 different ways with my bare hands. I don't need weapons. And then he reaches into his coat. He pulls out a 45, puts it on the table, reaches behind him, pulls out a heavy length of chain, puts it on the table, reaches into his back pocket, flips open a switchblade, puts that on the table, reaches into the other side of his jacket, pulls out a sawed-off shotgun, puts that on the table. You're not going to believe me, but I do have some idea how you feel. I was about your age. And he turns on the faucet. He's not going to do anything with fire, but turns on the faucet, and the water starts to run. And then hopefully, if things go according to plan, and there may be a dice roll involved, the water stops and starts going the other way.
You see, he tentatively reaches out to poke at the stream of water, and as he does, at first his finger is in the stream, and then you see it almost splits around his finger as it goes back up into the faucet. And he's like, you almost see a relief in there, his shoulders are less hunched, and there's a slight hopefulness to it, but there's also that very much skeptical, this is just, everything that's happened. This is, maybe I'm imagining things or seeing things, it's not what it is. It's not possible kind of deal, which, you might be very familiar with if you do interact with, kids who are trying to figure out themselves, not just in your family, but maybe other magical families, kids, as they're figuring out their own powers.
You're not crazy, and you're not alone. That's all I want you to know.
And he does a very typical, teenager, doesn't look at you, but you can tell he's listening thing. He kind of says, so, is everyone in your family like this? Or is it just you two? His shoulders have now fully relaxed during this whole conversation, and you hear him kind of give a little bit of chortle, and he under his breath goes, "You're a wizard, Harry."
RPGs are all about making bad choices. He's going to grab the mask and put it on.
I was swallowed?
Well, that goo all over you're asking about, yes.
Oh, that's what the tunnel was. It was a throat. Right, okay.
Yeah. I believe the other kind traditionally has a light at the end of it. I don't know.
I mean, I know gods are real and the afterlife is real, but I'm not. Everyone's kind of definition of what happens when you die is different. So,
yes, but I've never heard anyone describe it as stomach-like. So, yes.
I mean, I'm sure there's a deity somewhere where that's their thing. You just get swallowed. I'm sad that I said
Gary kind of stares off into space for a moment, thinking about that name, the Dragon of the Empty, and can't quite bear to consider that one out loud.
Yeah. Are you okay, Doc? I didn't mean to scare you.
Just feeling a little guilty for bringing you into this, but I'm glad you're here. We need to look after each other. You know.
I suppose. Yeah. And you didn't drag me into anything, Doc. I wanted to I wanted to do my PhD, and I was a little too stupid to not check for danger first, or I was too busy trying to be impressive and not think before I leap. And
Yeah. I remember working on my my doctorate as well. It goes with the territory. If we were smarter and more cautious, we would not have gone into this in the first place.
definitely not. Smarter people would have gone into something like, I don't know, archaeology. I hear maybe that's safer.
You would think.
I've heard some stories about some of those old tombs, but yes.
I mean, or maybe just work in a museum that hires people dumb enough to be us.
I suppose. At any rate, we need to keep our eyes open, you know.
I suppose. Yeah. Thanks, Doc. I appreciate you coming in to check on me. You're good at your job.
Gary's gonna reach, well, at his height, up and give Ben's hand a squeeze and toodles off to
I
to
love
his
them,
room
Your
to.
Honor. I love them.
So good.
That's my senpai.
That's so cute.
Senpai. He actually, he's gonna go for. He kneels down and he gives you a hug.
I actually when we have that moment before you kneel down, he pulls out his little round electric broom of flying and levitates up, so proper hug.
No. Yeah,
Oh,
I
there you
hug.
go.
It's like,
I love them.
So good.
Incredible.
That's my favorite
Thank
white boy. That's my senpai.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Giri.
You're
He
welcome, Mr.
awkwardly.
You're welcome, Ben. For the record, that's the first time he has ever called you Ben.
He knows. I felt it.
I am Steve, tall halfling on the socials, and I'd like to think that as everybody's leaving, Wally grabs a potted plant from somewhere in the house, and gives it as a weird gift to Jesse, and just says, "Remember, water it every day," and walks back into the house.